in the case, so we have started a discussion on potentiometric titration. So in that we have up till now seen some of the definitions, and those are redox reactions, oxidation, reduction. Then followed by we have discussed on a discussion of difference between the electrolytic cell, electrolytic and galvanic or voltaic cell. So we have seen the differentiating points between this. Then after that we have discussed that how we are going to denote the cell of the electrochemical cell. Followed by we have seen some of the examples, which compound or which electrode we can call it as an anode and which electrode we can call it as an cathode. So the electrode which is going to release its electron or donate its electron and oxidize itself, so it is an anode, and the electrode which is going to accept the donated pair of electrons and reduce upon itself, those electrode we can call it as an cathode. So now we are going to discuss some of the more terminologies, that is a salt bridge. So it is a U-shaped tube containing an electrolytic solution. It is in the form of gel basically, and providing electrical contact between the two solutions, one which is cathodic solution, in which the cathode is dipped upon, and another one which will be anode solution, in which it is dipped in the oxidizing solution. So the electrolyte used to prepare the salt bridge, these are generally potassium nitrate, potassium chloride and ammonium nitrate. So this salt bridge, it is an U-shaped tube which is dipped in both the solutions containing oxidizing solution as well as reducing solution. Now if we are going to measure the cell potential or the potential difference against the cell, so the cell potential is the potential difference between the two potentials which is generated at the cathode and which will be generated at the anode. So the potential difference between the potential which is generated at cathode minus potential which is generated at the anode, which can call it as a potential at the surface of the cell. But when we are going to talk about the potential difference against the standard state, when we have taken a known quantity of the solution whose concentration is already known to us, that time also the potential difference is equal to the standard potential which is at the cathode minus the standard potential which is at the anode, and so it will be denoted as the potential difference in the standard state. So reference electrode and some of the definitions of different types of electrode. So our first electrode in which we are discussing is a reference electrode. So what is the meaning of the word reference electrode? It is an electrode. It is an electrode whose potential is known and remain constant throughout the reaction. So any electrode whose potential is already known to us and which will be remain constant throughout the cell is working, throughout this electrochemical reaction is going on. So that type of potential or that type of electrode which are already taken part in the reaction and whose potential is known and remain constant throughout the process, that type of electrode is known as reference electrode. And the example of this type of reference electrode is saturated calomel electrode, whose potential at this electrochemical surface is 0.242 milliequivalents. Now a second type of electrode is indicator electrode. Now what is the meaning of the word indicator electrode? As the name itself suggests us that it is used for measuring the potential of another electrode. Now it is an electrode whose potential it is depending upon the activity of ion being titrated or estimated. Now in the case of indicator or electrode, his potential or the potential at this electrode, it is not constant, it is not already known to us. This will be determined during the reaction, and the potential at this electrode is depending upon the what type of activity is going on, what type of reaction, what type of titration is going on in this reaction mixture, from which the potential is dependent. So to carry out when we are going to do the acid base potentiometric titration of hydrogen gas, that time the quinhydrone electrode and a glass electrode are used as an indicator electrode, because this quinhydrone electrode and an indicator as an indicator electrode will change the potential of itself depending upon the what type of reaction is proceeding in that potentiometric cell. So what is the principle behind this potentiometric titration? How come we are going to use the indicator electrode, reference electrode, standard electrode, for what purpose, and on which reaction principle it is working? So the determination of equivalence point of titration on the basis of potential measurement using a suitable set of galvanic cell is called as potentiometric titration. So it is nothing but the, what is potentiometric titration? It is the determination of equivalence point of titration on the basis of potential measurement. How much amount of potential is generated in between the working of electrochemical cell. So how come we are going to determine the equivalence point? Equivalence point is nothing but amount of reducing potential will be reacted with the oxidation potential and vice versa. So the determination of equivalence point of titration on the basis of kutla basis varti, on the basis of potential measurement using a suitable setup of galvanic cell is known as potentiometric titration. So when we are going to use a suitable setup of galvanic cell to measure the potential difference against two different type of electrodes, when we are going to do this type of titration, that type of titration is known as potentiometric titration. Now the galvanic cell consists of two half cells. Basically it is going to have the two half cells as we have already discussed. One half cell is indicator half cell, whose potential is continuously changing depending upon the what type of reaction is proceeding in the titration, and another second half cell which is to be an reference half cell whose potential is already known to us and it is remain constant throughout the titration. So this is basically potential difference between the two, from which one is indicator changes as the reaction is proceeding, and another one is reference whose remains constant throughout the reaction proceeding. So it is the measurement of potential of these two electrodes. So during this titration, the potential of indicator half cell changes, whereas the potential of reference half cell remains constant. When we are going to do the change during the potentiometric titration, the potential of indicator half cell is changes, whereas the potential of reference half cell is remains constant. Now if we are going to measure the potential difference between these two electrodes, we are going to use a Nernst equation for what? To measure the electrode potential on the activity of concentration of ions with which the electrode is reversible is given by the Nernst equation. So what is the Nernst equation? Nernst equation is equal to E0 minus 2.303 RT divided by NF multiplied by log to the base 10, and it is a ratio of concentration of ions at the reduced state divided by concentration of ion at the oxidized state, where basically E is nothing but electrode potential of the indicator electrode, whose potential is basically changes throughout the titration when we are going to add any of the analyte from the burette or any of the analyte in the solution. Then E0 is nothing but the standard potential of the indicator electrode, whose concentration, whose potential is known to us as it is a standard. Then N is the number of electrons involved in the electrode reactions. How many number of electrons are there proceeding in this reaction? That is N. R is the gas constant. F is nothing but the Faraday's constant, which is nothing but 96,500 coulombs. A is the product of activities of species, it is at reduced state, and divided by A is nothing but product of activities of the species involved in the oxidized state. Now, when we are proceeding further for the potentiometric type of titration, it is observed that initially EMF of the cell will be changes gradually. Not a continuous type of EMF will be changed. Whenever the reaction is proceeding between the reduced electrode and the oxidized electrode, the reaction is proceeding and there is change in the EMF or the potential is gradually. Now when we are going to reach the equivalence point, the EMF changes quite rapidly. But after the equivalence point, when we are going to reach about the equivalence point, the EMF of the cell again changes gradually as like that of the first stage. Now, the equivalence point can therefore determined by finding the quantity of the titrant added at the point at which the rate of change of EMF or the potential is maximum. So, when we are going to determine the EMF change, so it is determined by to find out the quantity of the titrant added at the point at which the rate of change of EMF is maximum. Whenever there is change in the EMF is maximum, that time we are going to measure the potential of that cell. So these are the some of the graphs. How come there is change or gradual change in the EMF of the cell against the volume of the titrant? So these are some of the graphical representations. So the first graph is nothing but we have plotted a graph of change in the potential or change in the EMF of the solution against the volume of titrant added. So it is an gradually there will be an increasing in the EMF when we have increased the volume of titrant added in the solution. Now the next graph will be the volume of titrations when we are going to measure it is in the terminologies, that is delta. So the gradual or towards the equivalence point, how come it is to changes towards the equivalence point? And the third graph will be the square of the values of EMF as well as potential difference. So delta E square divided by delta V square, which will be plotted against the volume of the titrant. So from which the equivalence point we can determine the equivalence point of the titrations. So how come each individual electrode is going to play a role in the potentiometric titration? So the role of reference electrode, whose potential is already known to us. So the role of reference electrode is that electrode whose potential is known and remains constant. So the example of this type of electrode is saturated calomel electrode. Indicator electrode is whose potential it changes depending upon the what type of activity is proceeding in this reaction. So the example of this type of electrode is to carry out acid-base potentiometric titration of hydrogen gas in the case of quinhydrone electrode, and the third will be indicator electrode for specifically and particularly for acid-base titration is acid-base titration of hydrogen ion is the ion being titrated and its concentration changes during the titration. So in the case of acid-base titration, indicator electrode should be an electrode reversible to the hydrogen ion. Now some of the examples of indicator electrodes in the case of acid-base titration is, first we have already discussed the example of quinhydrone electrode, and when we are going to represent this quinhydrone electrode is a platinum with a quinhydrone. So the reaction which is proceeding in this quinhydrone electrode is quinone upon reduction, that is with the help of hydrogen, that is from the platinum electrode. So it is converted in the hydroquinone. when we are going to express the potential or the expression of the reaction, so Q is equal to potential at the oxidized state, reduced state, that is hydroquinone, divided by potential at the oxidized state, that is quinone. So when we are going to put up these values in the Nernst equation, so quinhydrone is an equivalent mixture of the quinone and hydroquinone. So when we are going to measure the potential difference, that time due to the presence of the salt bridge in the both solutions, so the EMF, that is quinhydrone, is equivalent mixture of quinone and hydroquinone, and solubility of both in pure water is very small. So it is an equivalent mixture of the two. So the amount that is dissolved can be assumed to be equal. So the activity ratio of potential at the reduced state divided by potential at the oxidized state can be assumed to be equal. So the construction of the electrode. So the electrode is set up by adding a small quantity of commercial hydroquinone to the experimental solution is to be saturated. Now this solution is stored and then electrode of the platinum is introduced for the electrical contact. Then the platinum strip is used, should be clean. So the electrode can be combined with a saturated calomel electrode, which is actually a reference electrode. So this quinhydrone is indicator electrode and a saturated calomel electrode is reference electrode. So we are going to combine this indicator electrode with the reference electrode to form the cell. So the potential of which can be measured. So in the case of second example, in the case of acidic medium, so the cell setup is mercury is deep in the mercury chloride solution and hydrogen is deep in the hydroquinone solution. So we have taken two different electrodes, a calomel electrode containing mercury in the mercury chloride, which is an reference electrode, and hydrogen in the hydroquinone, which is an indicator electrode. So when we are going to measure the potentiometric titration and when we are going to do the potentiometric titration, so the potential difference against the cell is E cell is equal to the potential at the cathode minus potential which is generated at the anode. That means a potential difference which is generated in the quinone minus the potential difference in the indicator electrode, that is calomel electrode. So basically the overall benefit of this potential benefit of this medium, the potential which is generated in this electrode is potential on the quinhydrone electrode minus E, which is standard quinone, minus 0.05916 of potential which is generated at the calomel electrode. So if we are going to, so this is the potential difference, or this is a calculation of the pH value in the acidic solution by simplifying the above equations. And when we have dipped the solutions in the alkaline medium, that time setup of the cell or setup of the electrode is platinum wire which is dipped in the hydroquinone electrode and the mercury and mercury chloride electrode is nothing but the standard electrode or calomel electrode. So quinhydrone is dipped in the salt bridge, that is potassium chloride salt bridge we are going to use here in between the two electrodes, that is quinhydrone and the calomel electrode. Basically calomel electrode here we are going to use as a reference electrode. So when we are going to measure the potential difference against these two electrodes, so the potential which is generated at the EMF of the cell is equal to potential generated at the cathode minus the potential which is generated at the anode. That means the potential which is generated at the cathode, that is calomel electrode, and the potential which is generated at the quinhydrone electrode. So by simplifying this equation, these are the potential, and when we are going to measure the pH values of these electrode cell, that time E cell plus 0.457 divided by simplifying the equations, 0.05916. So some of the merits and demerits of these electrodes when we are going to use the indicator and a reference electrode. So the merits and demerits of these electrodes are: electrode is easy to set up, it is also easy to handle, as we are simply removing these electrode from the solution, and cleaning procedure also can be easily done. It can be functioning satisfactorily also in highly acidic solution, and it used to measure the pH of the, already we have discussed what is the formula for the measurement of the pH. So it is used to measure the pH of the aqueous and non-aqueous solutions. So these are some of the advantages when we are going to use potentiometric acid base type of electrodes, that is platinum and quinhydrone electrodes, in the presence of salt bridge, that is potassium chloride type of salt bridge. Now there are some of the demerits of this electrode is, this electrode is functioning only in the pH range of 1 to 8. That means this is the limitation point of this electrode, that we can measure this electrode in the case of a pH range that is 1 to 8. Now with the solution of pH greater than 8, when the any solution which is to be having a pH greater than 8, that time the activity ratio is no longer remain equal to the 1. So it cannot be functioning in the presence of oxidizing and reducing agent that can react rapidly with the quinhydrone and quinine electrons. See, these are some of the disadvantage. What are the disadvantage? Active in the pH range only 1 to 8, then above the pH range 8 it cannot work, then it cannot be functioning in the presence when any reagent will have a reaction with the hydroquinone or quinone. Now our second electrode is glass electrode. Now glass electrode, this is a diagram of glass electrode, in which a glass electrode belongs to the category of ion selective electrode. So this is specifically and particularly for a particular type of ions. So it is characterized by the presence of a glass membrane which shows selectivity for the particular ions. So in this electrode, the glass membrane is specially designed in such a way that it is specific and particular for the special type of ions. Now the glass electrode used for the determination of pH shows a preferential response for the hydrogen ion. Now the representation of this glass electrode is, we have dipped a silver wire in a solution of potassium chloride, followed by there is a presence of hydrochloric acid, 1.1 normal hydrochloric acid. So there will be a presence of glass membrane in between these two, and this glass electrode is dipped into the test solution. So basically the construction of glass electrode is silver wire dipped into the potassium chloride solution, followed by there is presence of a hydrochloric acid. Now it is surrounded by a glass membrane, and this whole electrode we are going to dip into the test solution. So the potential which is developed by the electrode is proportional to the difference in the hydrogen ion concentration on both sides of the glass membrane. See, this is a glass membrane, and we are measuring the potential difference inside the membrane as well as outside the membrane. When the hydrogen ion concentration on one side of the glass membrane is constant, then the potential developed by the electrode will become proportional to the hydrogen ion concentration of the test solution. So the silver and silver chloride electrode provide the constant potential in the solution of 0.1 normal hydrochloric acid, which provide the constant hydrogen ion concentration on one side of the glass membrane. So when we are going to measure the potential or the electrode potential on the glass electrode, so this is a potential at the glass electrode is equal to a standard potential at the glass electrode minus a constant value, that is 0.05916 pH. So the cell setup of this glass electrode is silver wire dipped in the silver chloride solution, followed by there is presence of 0.1 normal hydrochloric acid and a selective glass membrane. this whole electrode we have dipped in the test solution, and there is presence of an salt bridge between the calomel electrode and the first glass electrode. So this salt bridge we are going to provide here is potassium chloride salt bridge. So this is an glass electrode which we have dipped along with their glass membranes in the calomel electrode, and there is presence of an salt bridge. Now the construction of this glass electrode consists of a glass tube which is ended into a glass bulb containing a solution of constant pH electrode, constant potential, that is silver chloride electrode. A special electronic circuit is used for the measurement of pH of the solution. Now the instrument which is designed for this purpose of a glass electrode, it make use of glass and calomel electrode assembly and provide directly the pH of the solution as known to the pH meter. So this is a diagram of the glass electrode individually, and when this glass electrode is dipped into the solution, in which one electrode is going to be used as an indicator electrode and another electrode which is to be used as a reference electrode in which it is dipped. So this is a construction of the glass working electrode. So this is a glass electrode which is dipped in the, so this is a reference sample in which the glass electrode is dipped, and this is a ion selective glass electrode. Now the mechanism of this glass electrode is, this electrode involves the exchange of hydrogen ions of the solution with the silver ion of the glass electrode. Now the extent of concentration or the extent of hydrogen ion concentration is depending upon the respective solution, in which solution it is dipped. Now due to this there is a development of potential difference that is similar to the junction potential at each surface. Now as long as the reaction is proceeding, the activity of water on the both sides of the glass membrane are equal, the response of electrons remains proper. Now whenever ion other than hydrogen ion precipitate in the solution or in the exchange electrode process, the response of the hydrogen ion concentration, the response of the electrode changes is measured. Now these are some of the advantages and disadvantages of these glass electrode. It provides a measure of pH range between 1 to 9. In the case of first electrode, that is a calomel electrode, it is giving the pH range between 1 to 8. Here it is broadly 1 to 9. Using a pH meter, pH of the solution can be directly read. So we can directly measure the pH of the solution. The electrode can be used in the small quantities. Then electrodes are not affected by the oxidizing and reduced state. In the case of quinhydrone electrode, oxidizing and reducing agents will affect the quinhydrone. Here this is not the case, they are not affecting any to the oxidizing and reducing species of these electrodes, and the pH can be determined even for a small volume of the solution. Now disadvantages of this electrode: the electrode cannot function in highly acidic or alkaline solution. It cannot produce proper response above the pH range 9 to 9.5 or 9 to 0.5. Then it cannot function in the non-aqueous medium, and it needs standardization every time before the use. So we have to standardize, we have to calibrate the instrument every time before the use of the instrument. Now the next electrode is reference electrode. So it is an electrode of the constant known potential. The electrode is of two types: primary reference electrode and secondary reference electrode. Now the classification of reference electrode is: primary reference electrode, it is electrode whose potential under standard condition is to be defined to be exactly 0. A standard hydrogen ion electrode is referred as a primary standard electrode. It consists of a platinum electrode, hydrogen gas, and platinum ions, hydrogen ions in the aqueous solution. So when we are going to denote the cell of the only glass electrode, so this is a platinum wire which is dipped in the hydrogen, then against the pressure of 1 atmospheric pressure, and this is an hydrogen ion concentration. So this is a construction of standard hydrogen electrode in which platinum wire is deep. This is a hydrogen at 1 atmospheric pressure is passed onto the solution, and the temperature of the solution is maintained towards the room temperature, that is 25 degrees centigrade. So the platinum electrode coated with a platinum black. So limitations of this electrode: the cell potential for the standard hydrogen electrode is defined to be exactly 0. And the limitation and demerits of this electrode: the standard hydrogen electrode is difficult to set up, it is also difficult to handle, and cannot be used in the solution containing oxidizing and reduced species. It is also cannot be used with unsaturated organic compounds and compound containing sulfur and arsenic. So already we have discussed 3 different type of electrodes.